Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rutledge, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎您收看最新一期的直击美股栏目，我是贝赛宁，现在在纽约向您问好。首先，我们来看一下美股大盘在今天的一个整体走势。那么，周四美股是继续走低，道指盘中一度跌幅是超过200点，但是在午盘后有所回升，跌幅收窄。那么，下周英国脱欧公投以及全球经济放缓的担忧是导致了全球股市下跌，令市场情绪更为悲观的是油价的回落，造成了能源板块普遍走低。那么与此同时，金融板块则是受到了因为低利率环境这个长期持续的背景打压，金融类股今天领跌。那么避险情绪目前是主宰了整个市场，股市和原油等风险资产是遭到投资人抛售，而与此同时，黄金和国债这种避险资产则是受到了市场追捧，金价今天继续上扬，几度冲破了$1300上方。好，那么关于美股大盘的更多消息，让我们听一下张远我们带来的独家点评。So it looks like it's pretty safe to say that we haven't seen the end of this period of increased volatility. So can you give us anatomy of the recent trend and how can you play this reversal?
Well, like you said, volatility is high. Nobody typically knows what type of corrective process you're going to have. So the best thing to do is become prepared every day. So when we came in today, right, the futures are down, I think 8 to 9 handles. We had some downside follow through to yesterday's weakness into the close with the Fed. So the question is, what would be next? So in my note that I do every single day, I wrote down Tuesday's pivot low and Wednesday's pivot low to see if sellers had enough power to keep us below, or were we oversold enough with the oscillators at -60 to create some kind of bounce. So if you navigate pivots and you look at charts and you use oscillators, you can always try and navigate in a way to create cash flow and keep yourself safe. So if you look at the chart, this is the daily chart. If you were trading for a potential move to take out 2100 and take out the year highs, remember last year's high and then right here was the earlier high, we went above it and failed. Okay, that was your sell signal. That was when we broke the 8-day moving average right there. Now we'll figure out if this reversal, okay, which you could see a little bit clearer on the spiders, which will be ex-dividend tomorrow, can build. How does a reversal build? Well, you have some commitment to it, meaning you don't want to see it probably get back below this, get an inside day. Like remember this reversal right here on the 200-day? You had to move up an inside day, and then it took out this downtrend and engulfed the 21-day. So now what you want to do is you want to see it hold higher, and then if this market's for real, in the next coming sessions, it probably holds the top third of this candlestick and then takes out these moving averages with authority like it did here, and then maybe it does it from a higher level.
Now, NASDAQ took a hit today. So how are some of the big tech names doing, holding up, like Netflix and Apple?
Yeah, they're doing fair. Yeah. The NASDAQ actually went below the 200-day where the S&P was below the 50, so relatively speaking, it's weaker. But, the Qs reclaimed the 200-day, just like the spiders reclaimed the 50-day. You could have used the same strategy, Tuesdays and Wednesdays low. Do we stay below it or do we get back above it and reclaim it? If you look at Apple, it broke below 96.50, okay? But did it fall apart? No. Okay, here's that pivot right there. That's your 96.60 pivot. It broke below it and then reclaimed it. Step one to showing some support. Next step would be take out this descending channel to perhaps show better price action. It's been doing okay since reclaiming this 92.75 after Buffett's news. And then, something like Netflix, not the best acting stock, but you know what? It held this prior pivot, so this is step one. Held it, came up. Step two would be taking this out.
Now, how about gold? It has skyrocketed to levels above 1,300. Did it hold?
No, it didn't. This morning, what a different picture between the morning trade into where we closed, right? Gold was above 2016 highs. The miners were on fire. Everyone was saying the market's going to fall apart. Got to be in the metals. So in my morning call, I said this is what has to happen. If you're playing the metals for a breakout move, it has to hold breakout levels. So the GLDs opened at highs and sold off. The number I said this morning, it has to hold what in the GLDs? 124. Let's see what happened here on the chart. Okay, it opened above 124. Okay, here's the range. Okay, from the low end of the range to the high end of the range, went above the prior pivot and failed. So if you got long yesterday on the dovish Fed, maybe you sold some, and then when it broke back below this prior high, you get out because this is a pretty engulfing bar. Not saying it means it's going to fall apart, but this is a small sell signal.
Last but not least, let's talk about Disney because it's been really rough couple of days for Disney. Stocks were down 20%, but the highly anticipated Disney Shanghai theme park just opened, and then the forecast is looking pretty good. So for investors who are long-term investors of Disney, can they breathe a sigh of relief?
Now, Disney is a blue chip, right? Typically over time, it usually does really well. Technically right now, it's not acting great, but if you're in it for the long term and you haven't sold it yet, I think it's acting a little bit better. You typically don't want to be in something, okay, that is below the 200-day moving average. And this is below the 200-day moving average. Also, you have a high, a lower high, another lower high. So it's been in a downtrend. So short term, it's not leading the charge, but if you're in it and you have a long-term thesis and you really believe in the name, which typically works itself out, sit with it. But if you're risk averse, here's your stops going across. Use this 96 as your stop and use this as your active add.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for insights as always.
My pleasure, and just keep tuning in every day. We'll try and connect the dots. Some days it's better to be risk on, some days risk off, some days neutral. And at this time, today was one of those days where there was, oscillators oversold, stocks reclaiming pivots, and you could have made a lot more money buying in the hole and then maybe selling the close and holding a little bit versus yesterday, you had to sell the close, go home short, and cover the open. Every day is different.
好，感谢您收看本期的直击美股栏目，我是贝赛宁，我们下期节目再见。